Welcome to Radio Hawke's Bay. This is Gail. I'm here to talk about life coaching, the psychic, the intuitive, the spiritual topics, ideas, beliefs. In life coaching aspects, I use all of my intuitive abilities to help you navigate your life. So whatever you've been navigating over the last 3 years, and it's been challenging in some ways, difficult, interesting, confusing, and different for a lot of you, that starts to even out a little bit this year. We are 2023, and last session was on the beginning of 2023, things that are likely to come up, what the year is about. So I'll just recap on that, because we are in a year where things are going to be kind of lining up a little bit more easily. There is a luckier vibe in the year. You may have felt coming into the year a quieter, more subdued feeling, and that's because we are also quietening things down, looking inside, reflecting on ourselves and our life and things that have happened and the changes that we've started to see, but also contemplating the changes that are still coming. This is the year where a lot of those will highlight themselves. All in all, I have to tell you though that it is a lucky year. It's a lucky year for everybody. If you are in Aries, then you will be more likely to have good luck, benefits come your way around now until May the 16th. And like, everybody is going to benefit in different ways, but Aries more strongly, and also Sagittarius, Leo, Gemini and Aquarius. That right now you will find there will be, I don't know, lucky situations that, how did that happen? Or, wow, that's awesome, like I never win anything, and then you win something. It is depending on your lifestyle and of course what you get involved with, but there is that kind of happy, lucky vibe around, especially for those sun signs. And others, just if in general you'll feel some benefits of that lucky aspect at the moment that's around. Now that stays around, by the way. From May the 16th, it moves out of Aries into Taurus. And sort of what that means is that the earth signs then become more in tune with the vibrations of luck, which comes from the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is always a lucky planet. And so Jupiter is here now, and it is, moving through Aries, and it will move into Taurus, and it will benefit all of the, when it moves into Taurus on the 16th of May, it will also benefit Capricorn, so like the earth signs, and the water signs, so that's Cancer as well. So, but it is something that we all benefit in different ways. Yeah, so it'll be just good for everyone. Sorry, I'm fluffing because I'm trying to read things and it's not good to read things. So all in all, things will turn around in your life in a positive way this year. However they've been in the last 3 years, they'll turn around in a positive way. I've just touched the cards for those of you that can't see, and I had a card fall out, as they do. So when cards fall out, they're presenting information. Always it's information, and it's information that's relevant. So for a lot of you, there might be little bits of extra money that come in that you haven't expected. They're not huge amounts showing up. It doesn't mean there won't be some of you that do win huge amounts or receive bigger amounts. But for most of us, it's around about, like, there's just a little bit of extra money that comes from somewhere that we haven't known about, and I mean, it could be $20 that somebody just gives you, or that you get from somewhere. So I run out of option ideas sometimes of where these things can come from, because they can come literally out of thin air. The other thing that I've got with this particular card that's fallen out, and I will say about it because it's in line with the luck that comes in this year. It's in line with Jupiter. It's in line with our, pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So any of you who have been working towards something, hoping for something, this just says there's maybe a little indicator this month of what will come, or of you receiving what it is that you're waiting for, hoping for. And it doesn't have to be around money. It can be just around maybe getting that home that you've wanted, or sorting out the finalising aspects of a project, or seeing the results of something that you've worked on that hasn't produced results before. So, yeah. There is, I had something before when I was just picking up the cards at the beginning, and it was around put the last 3 years behind you. The last 3 years have been changeable, they've been confusing, they've highlighted things about yourself and your life. There's been a lot of alterations, not always specific, that have happened in your life, happened in your psyche, if you like. You've not really known what's going on sometimes, and maybe you felt displaced or lost or stuck, or just completely, what the heck is going on. So that phase is over. That 3 is always a very important number, and I'm just going to reiterate this for those of you that forget. 3 is the number of the universe. So it's Father, Son, Holy Ghost, or Holy Spirit. It is the pyramid. It is the power of 3. It is the 3. Sometimes things happen in 3s, and they have in your own life. It's because they're significant, they're important, and they emphasize something very strongly. So if you hear the same message 3 times, that is not those different people telling you the same thing just randomly. It is the message is coming from somewhere else that you need to hear, you need to follow. So that's always with the 3s. If you see 3 of the same number, then please Google that number, because that means that number is very relevant to your life right now. And I know a lot of you have been seeing numbers over the last at least 2 to 3 years, that there's been a lot of numbers that are just coming at you, and maybe they've come in 111s, or 1212s, or 333s, or 222s, or all of those, 555s. And those numbers have great meaning for you, especially if they just keep popping up. And I would say if they pop up twice, that just get on board with it. Find out what you can, relate it to your life in whatever way that you can. Follow it, the meanings of it in your life for at least a month, and see what happens. Because you'll find that what you have read about that number will tie out with your personal life, your personal situations, and it can actually help bring clarity. It can help you deal with it in a positive way. It can help you resolve things that need to be resolved. And I'm very sorry about this because my phone is ringing. But this is just a reaffirming. Spirit does this all the time with me particularly is they use electronic equipment to emphasize certain points. And this is, when it's a ring call, it means that that point that I have just spoken about is very relevant to you. It relates to you. The numbers thing's very important. And for any of you that have not had a repeat of numbers, or that you've just seen and you're not looking for these numbers, these are numbers that you just go, oh, I saw that number before, I wonder what that is, and you can dismiss it. So for the ones of you that have perhaps not seen any numbers that repeat themselves, you will see these. This is just a confirmation that you will see these numbers. These numbers will relate to you personally in your personal life and your personal situations. Please Google numerology and look up what the meanings of that number are. And don't just look up one website around that number. Look up a couple of websites around that number. Any website that puts up only the negatives or mainly the negatives about a number are ones to steer clear of. So you look for the ones that give you the positives of the number, because each number has a positive and a negative side to it. Always. Your personality has a positive and a negative side to it. If you play to your negative side, things aren't going to go well in your life. If you play to your positive side, things will go more smoothly. They'll fit into place, they'll resolve themselves more quickly. So same with your numbers, right? And these are, like I said, they're random numbers. They're not about your birthday numbers. But if they relate to your birthday numbers, that's even more significant to you personally. Yeah, think about it. It's always good to try something new. This is a new year. Wouldn't hurt to be a little bit more open and aware of what's going on in your surroundings. So this is a year where we're very much contemplating things inwardly. We're looking to ourselves for our answers and our own way of dealing with things, our own way of perceiving things. We're taking our own opinion a lot more seriously than we have in the past, because we're looking for it this year. It's just a natural thing that will happen for all of you. You don't have to deliberately do anything. So we've got Jupiter, which is lucky. So we had Mercury going backwards, which was the communication, getting things done, trying to get work finished, jobs done, people in to do jobs, kind of breakdowns in communication. Then we had Mars going backwards. So Mars stops going backwards January, I think it's 12th of January. So that's good. It means then everything is more in flow, which ties in with the new year. So if your year starts out slowly, that's okay, because that's part of, we know people are on holiday, we know, we have these New Year's resolutions, but then you go back and it seems like it's the same pattern, same routine that you go into. So it's just a little bit of a slow start. But I feel third week of January, which we're kind of coming up to very soon, 3rd of January onwards, things will start to pick up, start to fit into place, start to lift a little bit. And if you've had something nice that's already happened this year, then there's more of those things that are going to happen. And nobody is excluded, because this is the year of luck. We have Jupiter, which is the lucky planet, and the year of luck. So you can actually just kind of look a little bit more positively to, wow, what's going to happen? That'd be great, because we all need that, don't we? So from May the 16th, I said Jupiter goes into Taurus, and that just means that those star signs that are earth signs, so Taurus, Capricorn, plus Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, Pisces. Okay, water signs and earth signs, which actually blend really nicely, because we know that, because water and dirt makes things grow. So anyone in your life that is, say if you're a Taurus, then if you've got a sort of a Pisces or a Cancer around you, you're going to actually get on really well. You'll be able to do projects together. So if you've got any kind of plans to do a partnership of any kind this year, then just check in with what their sun sign is. It's not all about the sun sign, as we know, because the sun sign is only part of who you are. You have an ascendant and you have a moon. So we know there's 3 parts to you. It's just that your sun sign is what you're here to work with. Your moon is what you have been before. So you know, so my moon's Gemini, so I talk. Okay, so that's easy for me to talk. But I'm a Leo sun sign, so I've got to learn to be a Leo. And that's quite difficult, because Leos can be quite strong and assertive and judgmental and all kinds of things that go against the grain for me. And yet I have to learn how to use those aspects always in a positive way. We can let them be part of our character. It's simply whether we choose to. I'm a little lucky, I think, because my ascendant and my moon both are in Gemini, which means I'm more strongly toward the Gemini personality character than the Leo. It's a handicap, though, because it holds me back from being that business, do you know what I mean? Business side of life, assertive Leo type of personality. But I've still got to do it, and I know that. Right, you can only do your best in life. Just know that your sun sign is what you're practicing. Okay, your moon, and if you find out what your moon is, to find out what your moon is, you find out the time you were born. It's very important. The closer to the time is the most important. If you can get the time that you were born, it's the place you were born, and it's so the place that you were born is so I was born on top of a volcano. That's what I say. I like that because it sounds really good. But I literally was born on the top of a volcano, Taupo, and I have lived in this area, another area of Hawke's Bay, for most of my life, actually. So where you were born is important. The time you were born is important. It all helps you to get an accurate astrology done, which you can get done online. I encourage you to do this because it is, and you can get them done free still, I'm sure. It just gives you a little picture about your personality and your character, and it actually helps you know, I can't help it. This is just part of who I am. You know, I've got aspects of my personality that I've never liked, that I was never in line with as I was growing up. So I would be angry at myself. I would not like myself just because I had those aspects to my character. When I read my astrology, I was like a validation that I can't help that I have those aspects to my personality. But it empowered me to know that I can actually do something about that I can choose to use whatever aspects of my personality that I want to. And yes, sometimes that runs away with you because, you know, things happen and you feel pressure and stress, and so therefore perhaps you don't behave as well as you would like to. All of these things, though, you have to permit. However you are right now is however you can cope with being. And nobody can tell you whether that is right or wrong. Your opinion this year is going to matter more than anybody else's opinion out there. So you need to know what your opinion is You need to have a good opinion about yourself, because your role and your purpose is to like yourself, but ultimately to love yourself. And that means the negative aspects of your character and personality as much as your positive aspects of your personality. You need to learn to use the negative and the positive in some sort of balance and harmony. And that is something else that came out with that card that fell out before, was balance. So give and take, balance, all that kind of stuff. Very important. Okay, so we can look forward to a better year, a changing year. However it's been for you, leave it behind. You've learned everything you need to. The world has changed, it's still changing. We've got to adjust to new situations and circumstances. We can't keep looking at, I want to get back there. I want that to be the same, so I feel safe. We are going into a new era, a new area, where we have to find our safety within the things that we know, the things that we can trust. We know that food prices are going to go up. We know that things are going to be different than before, but we can navigate those. Talk to your grandparents, or your great-grandparents, because I'm a great-grandparent. Talk to them and just see how they managed through the war years and the depression and their lives, and how their ancestors survived through dreadful times and situations on the planet. And that will give you clues on how you can survive. Easily, effortlessly, simply and effectively. So, on that note, namaste, take care. If you would like a person-to-person session with me, 027 4166 545 is my number. And on that, take care, namaste.